I'm sitting here thinking about how many people got sick, been getting sick, ill, just natural illnesses and stuff like that. A lot of people been getting sick. Some of it ain't real though. Some of it I think part of the movie. If it is real, it's a lot. But I was sitting here thinking though, in my own personal experience when I was younger, there still is a lot of people getting sick. And I was like, I'm sitting here thinking like, I'm trying to get my music right. You gotta take it everywhere I get. So make me think, man. I can't help it. But I guess I'm gonna have to pay her whenever I get out of this situation. But I was thinking about how when illnesses and sicknesses, it could be any illness, from STDs to regular illnesses like cancer and stuff like that. I was thinking about when I was young, a lot of people started getting sick. I was thinking about how it's just another phase. It's just your body way of telling you to heal. Like, I know these unique traits. Like, when I finally did that little Dr. Saber healing thing, it woke something up. So, it's like, how to prevent diabetes. You can prevent diabetes because your body will tell you. Your body will tell you when your rectum itch or irritate. They tell you, okay, you done took in too much sugar. Don't take in no more sugar for a while. You take in sugar again, it'll happen over again. It'll irritate you. But a lot of people don't notice this. They write it off as something else. Most simple illnesses that you go to the doctor for and the doctor write off as something, they're still trying to tell you something. But they actually can be cured instantly if you know what triggered them. Yeah, when you have an irritable, I got that rectinitis or whatever you want to call it. Sugar, too much sugar intake. And you take out the sugar, it'll stop. Then you'll notice that your body probably, if you keep going, your body will start feeling bad. You know? So you learn all this stuff as you detox and you heal yourself. And you start having these weird senses in your body that have always been there. But if you was constantly attacking your body, let's say you wouldn't notice irritation if you on lower tabs and stuff. Because it's going to make you irritate all over. All right, let's say you got 20 sensors in your body that goes off. Let's say you got 20 sensors in your body that goes off. Okay, each one goes off doing certain things. Maybe eating sugar, too much sodium, whatever. Meeting people, new guests in your life, sexual activities. Well, if you do a drug and it trigger all these sensors, how would you know? Because all the sensors gonna go off. You're gonna be, cause people, I know people love it. They're like, oh, I feel so good. You start itching. Red ball. You start itching. And it feel good when you itch because you feel so high and good. It just, oh, it feels so good. But at the end of the day, you're shutting down. So now, the devil is around you. For real, for real. So as soon as them senses get basically clogged up, that's what they're doing. And they numb, they're no longer going off. The devil gonna attack you real good now. that's why when you start actually trying to heal from drugs and going through withdrawals, that's why it feels so bad. One of the reasons. But anyway, back to what I was saying earlier about healing. I was like, when I was broke down myself and very badly contaminated, it got to the point where I had the person who helped me said, before I can help you, you gotta want to live. Because they knew I had to tell them all the problems I had. I had to tell them all the bad activities I was into, all the habits I had. And it was a lot. And they were like, well, if you want to live, come back to me and we'll figure this thing out and work it out. But if you don't want to live, just continue doing what you're doing. Because you already ain't planning on living long at that rate. So it was a lot of stuff I had to quit, man. A lot of stuff, activities, a lot of stuff I had to quit at one time. Just cut off, wasn't no cold turkey. There wasn't no tapering off, cold turkey. So I didn't want to do it. And literally I had to leave that guy and think for a whole weekend, do I want to live or not? I had to question that. I said, do I even want to live, bro? This is overwhelming. This life is overwhelming. I got on drugs and a lot of stuff just to have a normal life because it was so awful. So I had to question that, bro. So I had to sleep on him. I told him that too. He got it. He get it. He got it. He was holistic. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna think about it. I had a girl at the time who was traveling a lot, and I said, I just had to think about it. The funny thing about the women I had at the time was that I was getting high and I was indulging, but they wasn't indulged, as if they were so good. And then when I leave them, I find out they was indulging just for somebody else. Like, don't make this. That's how I knew. Like when I got to this point in my life, I realized they were really just dogs. You know what I'm saying? Somebody paid to harass me, monitor me, tell everything I'm doing. That's why I said whoever was watching me had to been an uncle, a parent, an auntie or something. It wasn't these young girls. It wasn't all these girls and stuff. They don't really do nothing to me. I mean, y'all just young and you women. You still growing, you know. But the mistakes are always gonna happen. But it's up to you to notice when you done turn a mistake into a sin. So that's what happened with me. I turned a mistake into a sin. How you know it's a sin? You know it's a sin. You know it's a sin when you know it's a sin when it's starting to hurt you. You know it's a sin when it's making you sick. That's when your ancestors done dropped you and let you go. You know it's a sin when it's over with for that pleasure. And unfortunately, it's too late then. So, and for me it was. So I had to heal. And you know, the hardest part of wanting to going home and thinking if I want to heal myself was the fact that even if I did all this and quit all this, would I still be able to heal myself? I ain't know all about this angel stuff, but I believe in God. I always took God everywhere I went. The hardest thing was debating on whether or not to continue this life sober or trying to be sober and sound minded. Because you get on substances to numb the pain of the turmoil, the pain, the secrets that were done to you in the dark. You hide all that through the substances. So that was hard. I had a weekend to think about it. Somehow I got up that Monday, relocated myself, moved up there with that dude. Me and my girl stayed up there and let him work on me. somehow I made it through it. Because the whole point of him telling me that was that I had to get to the point where I wanted to do it. And for some reason I didn't miss nothing. For some reason when I actually started wanting to heal myself, it got kind of interesting and intriguing. Because I started seeing the pausing. And all this stuff that everybody was doing. And I started seeing how it was all programmed to keep us low. So it pushed me to go further and further and further. I was way more healthier then than I am now. Way more healthier. And, after I did that experiment. But so it's like you gotta wanna heal yourself. I had to separate myself. I was contaminated every way possible. I was contaminated. It was because of everybody I was dealing with, all the people I was dealing with, what I was doing to myself. And it was like part of that healing process was leaving that alone. Like it was no point in me going over here, healing myself, learning how to heal myself, and then going right back to these people that was constantly hurting themselves. So I had to let that go first. You know, and now we here. And now I can reflect on a lot of stuff that I have healed that could possibly be kind of angelic. And some things I shouldn't have been able to heal, maybe. But I don't believe that wholeheartedly. I believe anybody can heal anything when they give it to God. I gave it to God anyway. First, I would never even went to the dude to try to want to help myself. So I gave it to God then. I had already gave it to God because you won't want to heal yourself unless God doesn't put it inside you to want to heal yourself. And it was expensive too. Thankfully, I had a job and I put a lot of money in it. But most of the money went into rebuilding my psyche, rebuilding my mind, and it really going to health products. I mean, it went into vitamins, but not a lot. Most of it went into building my mind, rebuilding my thoughts, the way I think. But yep. Then it was like a new life was introduced to me. It was like a whole new life was introduced to me. And the hardest part about that was getting over the mountain, getting over that hill of emotions. Like, you ain't got your drugs, you ain't got your alcohol, you ain't got your cigarettes, you ain't got none of that stuff. And then you still got the problems in life. So the hardest part through that was getting over that. And I got over it. When I got over it, it was so hard though. I remember that was one of the hardest parts. And then having people to call, normally call, you know, and then as I started healing, I still would try to call certain people, but I could feel the energy off. It was almost like this person don't notice this. These people don't notice this, but it was almost like that we all have demons inside. We all are born in sin. These people didn't notice, like, these people just didn't notice. They didn't notice that the demon inside them, these were really good, close people. But it was something about the demons, bro. Like when I was healing, I wasn't healing here. I was healing out of town. And when I would come back, I call up my partner, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm gonna kick and talk. But the conversations were different. They was way more suspended. They were like, it was more like they was answering me and we was talking, but it was more like something inside them was saying, I hate you. You know, and I could feel that. They didn't give that off when they talked, none of that. But it was something inside of them. Like, I hate hit you. Like the more I heal, so I knew for some reason I knew it was from the healing. So I would go back and go heal some more, and intentionally go back around these same people, since they didn't know what was going on, and I got the same reaction, if not worse. So I realized I started seeing the good and the evil then. I started seeing good and evil then. I started saying, okay, this is real, you know. This is real. God and Satan and all this stuff is real. This is real. Because these people wouldn't have never did it. They still at that moment would do anything for me. But I could just feel it. They hate it, you know. And whatever that energy was inside of them really was a demon, because what it is, that person haven't elevated out of that area that I already elevated in. And see, I already elevated, so why am I going to the people that ain't elevated? You see, it didn't make no sense. So it's like the demon was trying to tell me, why you around us? Like Legion trying to tell Jesus, what are you doing here? Like that. But then, you know, I'm saying that to say this, because so many people supposedly got contaminated in that situation. But people are, but I know people who really have. I can see they got contaminated real bad in this experiment. So that's just what I'm trying to tell you, man. But it's so hard to make that decision to actually want to heal, because first you got to heal your mind of what broke you in the first place to do all that stuff to yourself.